What's up, everybody? Welcome to Next Gen Newsweek, episode 62. My name is Mitch, and joining me today is... I almost said tonight, because I'm so used to recording at 10 o'clock at night. Joining me today is Richard.
Hello.
And Chase.
Hello, hello.
I don't know about you guys, but I actually enjoy recording while the sun's out, because I feel like a vampire when I record at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like a zombie and ready to go to bed. And now, like, I've had my coffee and... I'm ready to kick ass the rest of the day. So
it feels different. It does, in a good way.
It feels a lot different. Yeah, it feels good.
So, unfortunately, we couldn't have Steven or Michael on today, but hopefully they'll be able to join us again at some point. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do it yet, but there might, if you're watching the video version, there might be a picture of Michael's frozen face, like over in the corner. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not yet. Hey, Michael, thank you for being here anyway in spirit. So today we're going to be talking about, spend a lot of time talking about what games we've been playing. We're going to be talking about Deathloop because that just came out the other day. I don't think anyone else has bought WarioWare, but I was going to spend a little bit of time talking about that. And we're going to talk about this big Nvidia game leak because there's a lot of games in there that haven't been announced yet. And it is a leak, so we don't know for sure if it's actually happening, but some of it does seem legit. But before we get into that bit, I want to talk about what games we're playing. So, Richard, would you like to start off before Chase and I talk about Deathloop?
yeah, because I'm kind of going through like a hiatus right now because I got Far Cry 6 comes out in just a few weeks, so I don't want to bite off anything too hard. So I've just been playing No Man's Sky. They have their third expeditions going on right now, and they just had the Frontiers update. And then Red Dead Online, because they've been doing a lot. They had their update, and then they've also got the quick draw passes leading up to the holiday or the Halloween thing. So yeah, I've been dicking around on those two things, not really like playing anything to accomplish anything. So just waiting on Far Cry 6.
I'm telling you, with Deathloop being only $50, you should definitely pick it up.
Man, it's petty as hell. I still don't know how I feel about Bethesda, so I don't know if I want to give them any money. So yeah, right. It's petty. I openly admit that it's petty too. So I don't know. I keep telling everybody else that it feels like maybe a Black Friday thing. I'm sure that there will be a Black Friday in some regard. So. Yeah. It does look interesting. I just, every time I think about Bethesda, I see that little dick in my head. So it kind of kills it for me.
But this is Arcane Studios and not like Bethesda software.
It is, so. And I love Dishonored. It's just, man, I'm talking about being jaded.
Well, Chase, anything other than Deathloop that you've been playing?
Yeah, actually, like we haven't talked about like games we've been playing for a while. So I've been playing a lot of stuff. I just played like a really good platformer called Evergate, which is awesome. Like a few weeks ago, I played as a new game. Well, it came out like a while back, but I just like it's been in my pile of for a while, and I'm like I just played it. It was really good. It was called Caves in the Wild Mask, and I picked it up because it kind of looked like a Jazz Jackrabbit type game. I don't know if you guys remember Jazz Jackrabbit from like the old PC games, but it plays a lot like Donkey Kong Country.
Okay.
So I was really, really impressed by it. And then I went through all four of the newer Wolfenstein games, other than Cyberpilot, which I was looking at like the trophies, and apparently the trophies for Wolfenstein 2 is like as far as difficulty goes, is 10 out of 10, which Demon Souls is like a 7 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So they're saying it's like, yeah, it's really hard. But I'm probably not going to go back and play them. I just wanted to go through the story because like I started those games and for some reason like something else came out and I just wanted to hop on that instead. And yeah, then I started Deathloop late last night, and I played like a little bit this morning, but I'm just barely on the surface. But it plays really good. It looks really good. Yeah, like the art style has just been incredible. The writing so far has been great. I'm really excited to play more of it.
Yeah. So we obviously won't go too deep down the rabbit hole. I'm probably not going to have any spoilers whatsoever, especially since Chase just started. And I haven't beaten it yet. I have gotten a little bit more time with it than Chase has. But I mean, yeah, everything you said, I feel the same way about. Like, it's the story and everything is incredible. I really like the dynamic between Colt and Juliana. Like, I really enjoy how they play off of each other. I think the writing with that is very good. I was telling Richard before we started recording that, like, I haven't played a lot of Arcane stuff. Like, I played like maybe the beginning of Dishonored 1, and that was about as far as my experience with Arcane's first person shooters go. But so far I'm really enjoying it. I was so last week when we were doing the PlayStation showcase, like, I kept saying, like, oh my god, I'm tired of seeing this game, and because it just kept showing it in trailers just over and over and over again. It's kind of like Far Cry, like, and every time they see it, like, I feel like I was just getting less and less interested in it. And then the other day I had some free time. I turned my PlayStation on, and everything I had on there was like games I've been playing for like over a year now. And it was like, it was Call of Duty. And for some reason, it won't let me launch Call of Duty. It says I don't own it anymore, which is its own problem. But then like Grand Theft Auto Online and Dying Light were like the three first games that pop up. I was like, I need something new to play. And then I saw all the reviews start coming out for Deathloop, and they're giving it 10 out of 10s. And I was like, okay, I have to get it. So, and it was a great purchase. And it's on, if you have PlayStation Plus, it's on sale. Like, you get a discount for purchasing it through the PlayStation Store, because I buy all my stuff digitally. But in brick and mortar stores, it's also only $50. So there's that too. But yeah, it's great. I can't wait to spend more time talking about it as you and I and eventually Richard get it and finish the game.
It's very optimistic of you.
Yeah, next year we can talk about Deathloop when Richard's gonna buy it, walk in his front door, and set it on the list that says "pile of shame." It's gonna be sitting there.
God.
But I also got WarioWare Get It Together. Got it last Friday. I pretty much beat the entire game on my lunch break, because the story is only like the story is only like 2 hours long at most. Not saying I took a 2-hour lunch. I'm just saying that, like, I pretty much got through the whole thing. If you've ever played a WarioWare game and you have any experience playing WarioWare micro games, you can just breeze through that game really fast. So it was a lot of fun though. But was it worth, like, if you sit down and like, okay, Deathloop's $50, WarioWare's $50. What's your better value out of it? Then obviously Deathloop. Like,
yeah, I'm definitely waiting for WarioWare to go on sale, but we'll see how that goes with Nintendo.
Yeah,
yeah. As I say, that's
it's fun. Like, and I've written up a review. I'm actually hopefully gonna have that put out today or tomorrow. But in the review, I wrote down like how in Game & Wario, which was the last big WarioWare game that came out, there was a game in there called Gamer that literally was like the only thing I ever wanted to play. Like, it was so much fun. And this game doesn't have one of those micro games that just makes you want to keep going back and playing it over and over and over again, which kind of sucks, because that other one was so much fun. And that's like one of the games that's on the Wii U that I know it probably will never come to the Switch, but I really wish it would, because that game is a lot of fun. Or that one part of that game is really fun in particular. But other than that, Eastward came out today, and I haven't bought it yet, but that's like something I'm really interested in picking up too.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
It did.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's kind of, if you remember, that's kind of like that, what's it called? Like, it's like a Zelda Last of Us, is what people were calling it.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested in
So
that.
I pre-ordered it through Play Asia. I think they're saying the physical version is going to be shipping in like November.
Gotcha.
So if you're looking for physical, I think they're the only one doing it at the moment.
Yeah. So may have more to say on that next week. But it just depends on how long it takes for me to get through Deathloop. I've heard about how long the story mode is for that, and I'm using that as a guide. I'd say I'm probably about halfway, maybe just shy of halfway through the game, because I did play it a lot yesterday. Like, schoolwork got neglected yesterday because of Deathloop. Like, thankfully today's an off day. I have all day to play Deathloop, so other than getting this episode up and going. So, but yeah, other than that, like I'm just I'm biding time. We got, let's see, if Far Cry comes out in 2 weeks, and that means Metroid comes out in 2 weeks. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And the Switch OLED. So there'll be some stuff going on with that. And then I got like a whole month to play Metroid until Battlefield and Mario Party come out on the same day. Like, oh my God, like there's just so much crap going on in October. There's so many games coming out in October and November. It's ridiculous. It feels like it's like pre-gaming us for February on how many games are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, oh yeah, and with that being said, Dying Light 2 got delayed to February as well. So there's just like every day in February there's like
Wow.
two games coming out. So, all right, let's jump from games we're playing into our big headline topic for this week, and this is going to be the massive Nvidia leak that happened the other day, which pretty much anyone can do this leak, or you can look at this list pretty much, and this says through the Nvidia GeForce Now, which is a service that Nvidia does for like streaming games on PC from other platforms, if I'm understanding that correctly. But someone was able to data mine the list of games, and there was a lot of stuff in there that's not on PC yet that is supposedly coming to PC, and then with that there's also games that have not been announced yet. So before I deep dive this list, was there anything on here that stands out that you guys were excited to find out that may possibly be coming out in the near future?
I mean, as far as like PC games, like ports, as far as like Sony porting their games to PC, because like they made a lot of money off of Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Like they realized, I think they realized that. So I'm excited for PC players to play some like PlayStation exclusives. But as far as like new games that were like unannounced, like I know it's weird that there was one on the list called Talos Principle 2. And if you've played the first one, it's like a really, really good puzzle game. Almost not as like crazy as like The Witness, but it's right up there. And then like if the Final Fantasy 9 remake is anything like the Final Fantasy 7 remake, then they're really excited for that. But I know they have like probably like 2 more Final Fantasy 7 games coming out, so
yeah,
we will see.
Do you think it's kind of shitty that they're skipping Final Fantasy 8 on the remaster side?
I kind of think so, but I mean, like all of this is like with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, definitely.
Especially with Final Fantasy, because of how much they have left and how long it took for the Final Fantasy 7 remake to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You still got, I'm going to say, years to finish that up. So I mean, I don't know. To that extent, there are some things that in this leak, and I'm like, that this may be legitimate, and then there are things like that with Final Fantasy 9 remake, and I'm like, really?
That's yeah.
Another thing too is the Chrono Cross remaster, which Chrono Trigger is. I know you can read different things. Sometimes say it's the best RPG of all time. I mean, it's up there. It really is. But to my knowledge, like you can't. It's not been ported. It's not on the Switch. I don't believe you can play it on the PS5. I think at one time it was on the store, like a network thing. I don't know if that's still, but you can't really play it on this generation, and there's never been a remaster of that. They've not touched that. It's just been ported,
right.
Again and again and again. So it would make more sense to me if they were to do a remake of Chrono Trigger instead of remastering Chrono Cross, because I mean it has its accolades, but it's not nearly as good as the first one, which that needs more of a touch than anything else.
Yeah. With the Final Fantasy side, like there's a lot of like Square stuff in here, and I don't know how big Square's development teams are when it comes to this stuff. But not only was there Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7 was mentioned in there, and Kingdom Hearts 4 was mentioned in this leak too.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy crap. Like I don't know how many people they put on their stuff. But the big things that people are taking away from this, again, to like Chase's point about the Sony side of it, like God of War coming to PC, Demon Souls, the PS5 version of Demon Souls, and Horizon Forbidden West were like kind of like the big ones. And also, I actually saw a number with this, but apparently Sony saw a 240% increase in revenue by releasing Horizon Zero Dawn on Steam. So that's, to your point also, that's kind of like why I think that they should be making a bigger push to put all their stuff on PC. And all it is people, like you said, that have never played it, but there's also people who have played it that just want to mod the crap out of the game and turn all the dinosaurs into Thomas the Tank Engine. That's all they care about. Like, can you imagine turning the gods in God of War to, or I guess they're gods, but like they'll just turn them into like Shrek. Like, it's good. That's all they care about.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So this is actually the list is by, I can't remember the guy's actual name, but there's a compilation that I'm referring to that's on Reddit of all of the list, the entire list, but it's broken down by developer. He did mention though that according to this list, there is no mention of Bloodborne, Spider-Man, The Last of Us, Last Guardian, or Gravity Rush, which is of course the three first ones were the big ones, but they're not mentioning coming in. I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like The Last of Us 1 and 2 could really benefit from a PC port, especially if The Last of Us remastered. Like, I booted that game up the other day, and it looks like shit. Like, on the PS5, it looks terrible. Mm-hmm. And to harken back to a previous episode about does The Last of Us need a remake? Maybe not a whole remake, but it definitely could use a new coat of paint on the graphics side. But I don't know if I'd pay $60 for or $70 for it. And so, there was that from Sony. And then we talked about Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, 9 Remake, and 16, Tomb Raider Anniversary, Kingdom Hearts 4. All like...
And unannounced title. Mm-hmm. So I need another project.
That could be...
stack on that.
As old as... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
They have a Square Enix. They have their showcases like next month. So they're probably going to show off some stuff then. Yeah,
Tokyo Game Show kicks off the week that Far Cry Metro came out, so they have something else to look forward to there. But also, part of this is mentioned that these games that could have been added a long time ago. So this could also be Forspoken. So cause that's a Square game.
True, that's true.
So that could be that. And then on the Capcom side of this, all the games that are listed were actually games that were part of that big Capcom leak that happened last year. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Street Fighter 6, Dragon's Dogma 2, and Monster Hunter 6. So the other mention of those coming back out. And then also the Grand Theft Auto trilogy is making another appearance on this list. So that kind of, I feel like those games, that should have been announced by now. Like, if it's coming out this year, it should have been announced.
Well, they announced Grand Theft Auto 5 again, and it's not went over too well. So
the Grand Theft Auto Remaster trilogy is about as infamous as the Metroid Prime trilogy remake. So at this point, like every time there's a place where it could show up, everyone's like, "Oh, is this the time it's going to show up?" No, it never does. So. And there's also a remaster. It's called an RTX remaster of the first Bioshock. Which, I mean, that's just like Bioshock 1 with ray tracing, pretty much. And then saying that the new Bioshock game is coming out next year. Which, I mean, that kind of lines up because they've been working on Bioshock, the next Bioshock for several years now. But I don't know where I would want them to go with a new Bioshock. I would almost just rather have a remaster of Bioshock Infinite because that's one of my favorite Xbox 360 games that I played. I don't know. Did y'all ever play Bioshock Infinite?
Oh yeah.
Love that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then from EA, a RTX remaster of Mirror's Edge, an Untitled Respawn game, and also Titanfall 3, which I don't know if y'all ever played Titanfall, but those games are pretty fun too. And then there's other stuff in here too, but nothing that's like a holy crap kind of thing, other than like maybe Bayonetta 3 coming to the Switch, or not Switch, PC.
PC.
Which, I mean, it's already coming to the Switch, so I guess.
I want to play Humans Fall Flat too.
I never played the first Humans Fall Flat.
It's really good if you have a kid and you play like couch co-op, because it's I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's a puzzle game, but basically you run around this huge map, and there's so many different ways that you can figure out how to get to the end. It's fun to play with kids, and it kind of, couch co-op's kind of a lost art, or at least I kind of feel like it is, aside from stuff that Nintendo does. So it's fun. I've never played it by myself though. I've never played it. I don't know, because the way that we figure out how to get through the level, I don't know how you would do it with just one person. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that I think you can get the first one for like $14, and they've got a lot of expansions that were all free, and you can dick around with it. But it's pretty fun. So I'm glad I'm hoping there's a second one coming out.
Have you ever played It Takes Two?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it advertised, but I have not.
It's a game that you can only do. Well, I mean, it's advertised to do online, but they want you to do a couch co-op.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah,
I'll look into that.
It's very. I played a little bit over at David's house because him and his wife are playing it right now, or they were playing. I may have finished it by now. It's very fun. And it takes a lot of communication. It's a lot of puzzle solving, and but people advertise it as a game to get people into playing games because it's very simple. So like if you say, for instance, like my girlfriend doesn't play video games, so like I could get her to play.
Good for you.
What?
That you have a girlfriend that doesn't play. I think that's best case scenario.
I mean, she likes The Sims and Animal Crossing, and that's pretty much it. So.
Well, my wife likes Mario Kart, and that's it. So it works out for me. But I think that's best case scenario.
Hand her the Switch. Here you go. Here's your Mario Kart. I'll see you later. It's time to play Resident Evil or whatever you're into. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that leak. There's, like I said, there's a lot of other games that are in there. You can find the full list of it on Reddit or on the internet somewhere. But the big stuff we pretty much hit up on. So, and then after that, today between yesterday and today, there was a lot of like little minor PlayStation announcements. Chase mentioned this morning to us that they have senior news correspondent Chase mentioned to us that there's a Midnight Black version of the PS5 headset that's coming out next month, and also the next major PS5 update went live yesterday or today, adding the external SSD support to the PlayStation 5, so you can now have more than 825 gigs of, it's like 600 something you can actually access. More than like that amount of memory to install your games on. So you could buy your own SSD to put all your Call of Duty on and leave it there. It's going to be exciting. Can't wait to put Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard all on one SSD and fill it up. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. No hard drive is safe from the Call of Duties. And then I have a question from a person on Twitter, and I feel terrible because like this was months ago that someone asked me a question on Twitter when I had asked for questions, and I never opened it.
I asked on Twitter and I never went back and checked it.
I wasn't ready for someone to DM me. It was I was looking for like people to comment on the thread and not to get a DM from it, because I get a lot of spam DMs, so I don't ever check them. So, apologies to Skillstriker 750 for sending this in. Wow. I want to see. Yeah, they're from Clinton, Illinois. Wow.
When did they send it in? Like how old is this?
When did I post that? It was at least 2 months ago that I posted that. Anyway,
so too terribly long, but that's still
Yeah.
some time.
Sorry about it. Either way. So their message says, "Hi, Next Gen Newsweek crew. I found out about your show back around the Game Awards last year, and ever since I've been watching every week. So when I saw you were taking questions, I had to jump on the opportunity. Again, sorry. So my question is, what year do you think is the best year in gaming? Personally, my pick is 1991. That was the year that Sonic the Hedgehog came out, as well as the Super Nintendo, which of course had tons of awesome games, but launched Super Mario World and F-Zero in the States. Lots of childhood memories there. Can't wait to hear your answers on the show." Thank you for writing in, Skill Striker. Richard, we'll start with you.
Well, we're probably similar in age because I think that's a really good answer. 91. Not for Sonic. I was never a big Sonic fan. I didn't have the Genesis consoles, but you're talking about like when. I know a lot of people disagree, but I say this is when Nintendo was in its heyday. When it was the reigning champ, the Super Nintendo was such a great system. I think the original Nintendo kind of set the stage at the whole arcade at home type deal, at first really. I mean, there was Atari and a lot of stuff that come out before. I think we talked about that one podcast, just the amount of like consoles that were like kind of late 70s, early 80s. But Nintendo really kind of drove it home. And then with Super Nintendo, they kind of polished what a home game was. Because it's funny because the original Nintendo, those games were so difficult. And if you did somehow manage to finish one, the ending was like, thank you for playing. And that was it. There was no, big fanfare or anything like that. And I think the narrative in games sort of changed. Certainly the look did with Super Nintendo. So I would say that. And I would also say probably 2001, 2002, because I think Nintendo did it again with GameCube. 2001, I don't know if Luigi's Mansion was a launch title, but I know that came out the same year, and I think Sunshine and Wind Waker were actually the following year.
Yeah.
But that was another one of those like defining, moments.
The
the
GameCube launched with Luigi's Mansion, and then next month was Smash Brothers Melee, which was one of the bigger GameCube titles.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Nintendo, when they, and again, people's going to disagree. When Nintendo knew what they were doing, they knew how to reign as champs. I wish they could rediscover that. I really do.
I'm going to give you a quick list of some of the bigger titles that released in 2001, just to refresh everyone's memory. Halo Combat Evolved, Melee, Grand Theft Auto 3, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Silent Hill 2, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Advance Wars, Twisted Metal Black, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, and I'm sure there's plenty of other ones, but those are like
so that was 2001.
Yeah.
So 2001 was a really good year too. So let me see, like 1991, 2001. I wonder if 2011. I wonder if it's like some weird thing that takes place every 10 years.
Well, that would mean that.
No. 2021 would have been this year. It got screwed by COVID. That's why everything's coming out early 2022. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Well, to your point, let's look at this real quick. 2011. First off, Chase, before I keep just going through this, what is your year? So I don't want to spoil your year.
So my year is 1996.
Okay. We'll get right back to that. But we'll do that one next. 2011, Portal 2, Skyrim, Arkham City, Dead Space 2, Minecraft, Saints Row the Third, Dark Souls, Battlefield 3, Super Mario 3D Land, Terraria, Dragon Age 2, Infamous 2, Crysis 2, Little Big Planet 2, good lord, Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and LA Noire, Uncharted 3.
Wow, okay.
A lot of big games. Okay, let's jump to 1996. I was 1 year old, Chase. Tell us about 1996.
So 1996, we had Super Mario RPG. We
Yeah.
had Quake, Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, the first Duke Nukem 3D game, the first Pokemon games come out in Japan, the first Resident Evil, Metal Slug, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, the first Star Ocean in the series, Jet Moto, Crash Bandicoot, the first Persona game came out, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, the first Tomb Raider game, Donkey Kong Country 3, and Terranigma. I don't know if you guys ever played Terranigma, but it was a Japan only game, but there is an English port. But it's like one of the best like Super Nintendo RPGs out there.
Wow, wait, what is that? I always take notes from Chase.
Terranigma.
Terranigma.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this one or say two of them, and I don't remember if you said them or not. I'm just going to kind of go through them. Did you say Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all I had. That one and Diablo were the two I had listed.
Oh wow. I didn't see Diablo.
Oh, and Goosebumps
But yeah.
Escape from Horrorland too. Let's not forget that. That's a big one.
Oh yeah.
That's a. Oh, Chase got frozen for a second. He's back. We're good.
Okay.
So me being a younger man than the rest of y'all, I have to go with something that's in the 2000s because I actually can remember it. I mean, I played games in the 90s, but I wasn't like really a big part of it, I guess. And to this point, also, I'm actually not listing a year that involves anything with Banjo-Kazooie in it. So just that was 96. So my year I picked was 2007. So that's the second year of the, what would that be? The 7th gen consoles. So that's the 360, the PS3, and the Wii. So the games that came out, especially the ones that I played a lot, Halo 3, Rock Band. There was bound to be a Guitar Hero game somewhere in that list as well. I didn't play Metroid Prime 3, but that was the year that came out. Skate, The Witcher, Resident Evil 4, Mass Effect, Bioshock, Assassin's Creed, Super Mario Galaxy. That was like
Good year.
That was a very, very good year. I played the only game on that list that I have not played was Metroid Prime 3, which I need to play. I'm banking on the Metroid Prime trilogy being real. I'm just gonna get all of them and play all of them before Prime 4 comes out. I mean, I don't really think there's a wrong answer to this because I feel like there's so many good games that come out like every year. Like a part of me would also debate that 2017 was also a really good year because that was the year the Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey came out, and Splatoon 2. I mean, that's definitely just a Nintendo perspective on it, but that's also I'm sure there's plenty of other good stuff that came out that year as well. Are there any other big years that you guys would like to mention that had a lot of good releases that you remember in it?
I didn't go back and like try to look through each year, but I just remember that 1990. Like there was a question on Facebook about what games came out X numbers after you were born, and I just happened to look that up, and I was like, oh wow, there was a bunch of really good games came out in 1996. So that stuck out to me.
I would like to especially shout out the year 2000. One, because everybody thought the world was going to end and it didn't. But that was the year that Paper Mario, the first Spyro, Jet Set Radio, Banjo-Tooie, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Mario Tennis for the N64, The Emperor's New Groove, the game. I played that a lot as a kid. That was the year Final Fantasy IX came out, and Spider-Man for PlayStation 1? Yeah, PS1.
Yeah, this is off topic. You're talking about the world ending. I remember I was a cashier at Walmart in 1999.
Oh hell!
And there was a lot of people, and I guess it all just depends on how the world ends, because the big run on items at the end of 1999 was batteries, flashlights, and water. And then COVID comes along, and it's toilet paper. And it's just like, that's interesting. I'm not looking forward to the next big thing that's going to end us, but I'm kind of curious on what the run on the items will be.
You
Yeah.
you failed to mention when everyone thought the world was ending or whatever with COVID, and they were panic buying toilet paper. When all the toilet paper ran out, they started buying puzzles, and then they started
Oh,
buying.
did they? Okay.
And they started
Was
buying
that on-
bicycles.
See, I was away from retail at that point, so I don't have a.
You had to, if they bought puzzles, they would have to reassemble them, put the puzzle glue on them, and then they could wipe their ass with the puzzle.
Yeah, I have the local. I live in a really small rural town, and they've got a little small rural newspaper that comes out, and I kept it. I bought it. They actually had sheets of newspaper that were blank, and it literally has stamped on it emergency use toilet paper.
That's hilarious.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep this for, when I can tell my great grandchildren, this is what we had to wipe our asses during the COVID pandemic.
That's hilarious. Yeah, my family was not panic buying, but we're able to get a nice supply for our neighbors that also couldn't find it that are older. So we were giving toilet paper to all of our neighbors and stuff because they couldn't find any.
What's in our household, it's almost like a reoccurring order. We just have laundry detergent, toilet paper, paper towels. There are some things that we just go through on a month-to-month basis, so it automatically gets ordered and sent to us. I think we do it through Walmart.com. So, we never experienced a shortage that way. Of course, we never had to go to the store to buy it either. So, yeah, that was weird in itself. Toilet paper. Of all things.
The only thing else that you couldn't find around that time to bring it back to gaming was Animal Crossing and the Nintendo Switch. You could not find any of those.
Mm-mm.
You still can't hardly. I mean, you can find Switch Lights now, but you can't find regular Switches hardly anymore.
Yeah, I don't. Has anybody heard about the PlayStation 5? I read an article that said the scalping prices are starting to drop.
I saw that too.
I'm sure they are,
and that was pretty much the end of it.
As two guys still in retail, though, I mean, do you see them? I know it's probably still rare, but are they coming in more often or no?
We have not gotten a single PS5 in since December of last year.
Wow. Okay.
The only next gen systems that we see come in are the Xbox Series S. The X and the PS5s are still only online. They're not coming to the store.
I saw the S at Target just the other day. They had I think 3 or 4 of them in the case.
It's so they've encouraged us to not promote saying, hey, there's Xboxes, even if it is the S. But when somebody comes in and they see one, they're texting everyone they know, and they'll just come up and just I need to buy, I need to get. Well, we'll sell as many as they want to, I guess, because they're not as in high demand. But yeah, they're with our particular region. Sorry if you live outside of the Middle Tennessee area, but because this is probably irrelevant to y'all's case. But with us, somebody got shot over a PS5 in the parking lot, and they kind of just pulled the plug on having them in the store at all.
At y'all's store?
It was at the Franklin, Kentucky store.
Wow.
So they just decided, nope, we're not doing it. Plus, me telling them I got my car broken into and got my PS5 stolen didn't help either. So.
Wow. And you imagine killing somebody over a game console? That's crazy.
Gotta please them kids for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
wow.
To bring it back to a lighter topic, let's talk about the pandemic and people getting shot. I do have a trivia question for y'all. God, I almost said this evening. I'm not used. This is a new time change for me. I'm not used to doing this at what time is it? 11 a.m. Oh, we gotta get going. Chase has got to go here soon. So anyway,
it's 10.
Yep. Oh,
it's 10.
Oh yeah, the time on my computer is an hour ahead for some reason. I guess it helps me from being from rushing out the door, I guess. All right, so our trivia question that I came up with on the spot, because I'm really bad at remembering to get those, is going to take us back to that older 80s time frame of the gaming generation. So, which of these systems was the first console to ever have an RPG? Was it the Famicom, the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, or the Sega Master System? Bonus, you get an extra point if you know what the game is too.
I'm gonna say Atari. I don't know the game, but I will say Atari.
See, I want to say Atari too, but like I don't know. The problem I'm having with this is because to an extent, RPG during that time phrase, that could be a really subjective term.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Atari, and I'm going to say, oh, man, I love this game, but like I'm drawing a blank on the title. I can't think of the title. I'm going to say Atari, though.
Okay. Well, you're both correct. It was the Atari 2600.
All right. Okay. So if that's the case, then it's either like it's called Labyrinth or Maze.
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
the game is called Dragon Stomper.
Dragon Stomper. Okay.
I had it pulled up somewhere. Where's it at? Well, I had it pulled up.
I can look.
But
this
it
up
was
now,
where'd it go? It was the article that I had found was talking about how it was the first RPG to ever come out, but nobody ever credits it as that. But it's like a cult classic or something like that. Here it is. 1982 Dragon Stomper for Atari 2600 was the first ever role-playing game. Although it didn't get much fame, critics applauded it for its ingenuity, detailing, and depth. So.
Oh no, the game I was thinking it was an Atari game, but it's called Adventure. And that's it. You had to get like a key to unlock a castle to go in and get like this little cup-looking thing, and there's these dragons that would float across the screen and they'd chase you, and you'd have to get like different things, like a magnet could pull this little bridge around. Very rudimentary, but I guess, it's kind of Legend of Zelda-ish in a way with like the different items you'd have to use to solve the puzzles. But that's where my mind was when I said Atari was Adventure.
You said Legend of Zelda, and that just made me think of like a Chinese knockoff Zelda game.
Legend of Zelda. It would be awesome to make that game, but you would get like hit with a cease and desist so fast from Nintendo.
Oh man,
The Legend of Zelda.
I wonder if you could do well, you can't use the word Linkle anymore, but like before they made Linkle a canonical character, I wonder if you could say the Legend of Linkle.
The Legend of Linkle.
That should crack me up. All right, well, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's topics, unless you guys have anything else you would like to share with the class, or the class panel show, whatever. That's going to bring us to the end. So, Richard, do you have anything you would like to plug this week?
No, just check me out at boardgamerenovations.com if you like board games.
Yeah. I can't wait for the Slay the Spire card game to come out. Been looking.
Oh, is it coming?
It's coming sometime this year.
He-Man, the He-Man Kickstarter from Simon Games started yesterday.
Nice.
So that's it's pricey, but it's He-Man. So if you're of a certain age, it could be awesome.
Is it better than that show that you hate?
Oh my God! There's another one. I think it either starts tomorrow or it started yesterday. It's like a reboot of He-Man, also on Netflix. It's got a weird art style. It's like they tried to, I don't know. It doesn't look promising. I'm gonna check it out simply because it's He-Man, but no, this is based on the 80s cartoon, so it's awesome. Like when you play a game, He-Man doesn't die immediately. So
nice. Chase,
and the miniatures look really good.
Nice. Chase, do you have anything to plug? Any shows coming up? Anybody needs to know about?
No, I think GameFly's having another sale right now. If you're looking for like some used games for cheap. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have anything.
I think the Switch is having some kind of big eShop sale right now too. So if you're looking for some, I don't have a list of games in front of me, but I think there is some stuff on there that's been discounted. So make sure you look into that. Check out Steven's SoundCloud. It's Breaker Beats 2020 on SoundCloud, or you can. I don't know if what his streaming schedule's like, but he also streams on Twitch at The Breaks, THABREAKZ. And follow Michael's Unsolicited Nudes Facebook page, because I think he's got over 300 members now, and they just share like the best pasta related memes you could ever find. It's a very niche thing to have, but it's very funny if you ever want to hop in there. If you want to find me anywhere, I'm at Meechflow everywhere on the internet. Look forward to a review of WarioWare Get It Together coming out either this afternoon or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes for me to do it. And of course, we usually do these episodes live at that 10 p.m. time frame, but with the way our schedules have lined up, it's making it really difficult to do that. So we're going to start recording the episodes, and I will have them uploaded later that day. So you can look forward to these episodes that you're watching right now to be up on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Central Time on our YouTube. You can just follow us on Twitter to make sure you stay up to date about whenever we're uploading new episodes. And yeah, that's all I've got. So if y'all don't have anything else, thank you all for watching. Richard, Chase, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
We will be back hopefully next week with more gaming news going into the Tokyo Game Show. So we'll see you then.